Hey, Hartford County, I'm Emily Adolph of The Soul Lift. You may remember me as a guest on Rich's podcast. Well, I'm back with something special.
And I'm Ona Crow. We're introducing Nourish and Connect, a gathering space designed to bring people together that feels authentic, supportive, and uplifting.
This is about real relationships, shared wisdom, and growth.
Our gatherings nourish with mindful experiences and reflective activities to leave you inspired.
And they're designed to connect with intentional conversations and welcoming community where you truly belong.
They're the second Wednesday of every month. Join us on April 9th at Dahl Beer Hall in Bel Air from 5:30 to 7 p.m. to celebrate spring.
And mark your calendars for May 14th and June 11th. We have amazing experiences planned for summer.
Come as you are and let's grow together.
Hey everyone, it's Rich Bennett. Can you believe it? The show is turning 10 this year. I am so grateful for each and every one of you who've tuned in, shared an episode, or even joined the conversation over the years. You're the reason that this podcast has grown into what it is today. Together, we've shared laughs, tears, and moments that truly matter. So I want to thank you for being part of this journey. Let's make the next 10 years even better.
Coming to you from the Freedom Federal Credit Union Studios, Hartford County Living presents Conversations with Rich Bennett.
Slow pitch
It's probably the least sexy part of the work, and I don't have the answer. It's okay. No. The truth is,
I am joined by my lovely co-host, Wendy Beck.
hello.
See, I didn't tell you to say anything yet. You're already interrupting me. You're jumping right in.
We're trying to figure out dominance here.
I'm outnumbered, so apparently it's not me. Go ahead.
Welcome. Today we have a special guest, someone who's near and dear to my heart, Laura Dahl, and her mom, Ruby. And they're going to talk to us about something that they're doing, which is new. And I want her to tell us about it. And I kind of have some information, and I want to kind of see if it's the same as what you're doing. I had recently met at a little craft show up in Pennsylvania, a bake sale that was benefiting the Bethesda Women's Mission. And I don't know if that's the same as you guys. Okay. So, yes, please tell us.
Yeah, so thanks for having us. Bethesda Transformation Center it's been a journey to get where we are right now. We're still not open, but we do have a property. We have the curriculum and everything. And what this is it's going to be a place for women to come and heal from addiction, from strongholds that they're experiencing. And it is faith-based. So when I say faith-based, it's Bible-based. And it is actually mirrored after a program down in North Carolina. Yeah. So Bethel is the place down in North Carolina. It has been going for 76 years.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. So 76 years for the men. They have a men's campus. And they opened a women's campus in 2019. So they have 80 beds for men and I think 24 beds for women. And they're working on opening up a family recovery part of it. So we learned about Bethel because of our journey with my brother, Stephen. So Stephen got to go down there twice. And it's a mission. It's a ministry. Mm-hmm. So it is just a nominal application fee. They don't bill insurance. Insurance isn't involved in it at all. And it is truly supported by donations, churches, community. And that is something that has been part of what we've been building up here because this isn't for the faint of heart.
No, it's not.
And just to clarify, because I had a couple people ask me this when I told them you were coming on, Bethesda Transformation Center is not located in Bethesda, Maryland.
No, that's the joke anytime I go and share at a church. No, it is not located in Bethesda, Maryland. It's actually in the north end of the county, right on the north side of Rock State Park when you're going up on 24. Beautiful, beautiful property. I can just tell you the testimony of us getting the property and everything has just been, God's fingerprints have been all over this.
Right.
And it's been beautiful to bear witness to it. You know, Mom and I are here. We're the ones starting this, but I can tell you it's not ours. It's not ours at all.
Right. Is it a nonprofit?
Yes.
Okay, so is it associated with the one in North Carolina, or is this like a branch or a...
No.
How does that work?
Yeah, that's a great question. So when we went down there, so Mom and I went down there for a week. I ended up finally picking up the phone and calling at the prompting of a pastor. And the lady that answered the phone on the other end was a woman in the program that had worked her way up through the program to where she had responsibilities, and she was part, like, quasi-staff, right? Mm-hmm. And I was probably sound like a rambling fool when I called. And I was like, I'm probably not making any sense. And she's like, no, you're making perfect sense. Let me talk to the program manager. Let's get you down here. And I was like, okay. And I didn't even know what I was asking for at that point.
And when was this?
March last year.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So March 2023?
2024.
I don't know what year we're in.
March 2024.
Yeah.
So not even a full year yet.
No.
Those of you listening, we're recording this February
21st. 2025.
So almost a year ago. Wow.
Yeah. And so I called down there. They were like, they talked and they had us come down, stayed for a week. We shadowed the program, got to ask any and all questions, went over. We stayed with the women's side. And then we took a day to go over to the men's side because, again, that's been going for 76 years.
Yeah.
Right. And while we were over there, so the joke is with all of this is for anyone who knows the Bible, Mom and I are Mary and Martha. So I'm the one that will choose to sit at Jesus's feet and just soak it all in, right? And my mom is so amazing at putting things together, events, hosting, entertaining. That's not mine. That's her strength. And it's beautiful, right? And that's part of what works really well here. So when we were at the men's campus, I'm just taking it all in. I'm just soaking it all in. And they ask us, is there anybody you would like to talk to while you're here? No, I don't know.
I was going to say, do you know anybody down there?
Yeah, I spoke up because of when we were down there with my son, Stephen. We went down to visit, and as a mother, to sit and watch your children in a hotel room quote scriptures back and forth to each other just was such a blessing. But I wanted to meet Pastor Pruitt because that is who was a big
he left a big impact on Stephen.
Right.
Impact on Stephen. So I wanted to meet him in person, and so we got to sit down with him, and he added a lot of light to everything that we're talking about, and he has been inspirational in emailing and giving us information, and they have.
He's like a mentor.
Yes.
Right
Yeah,
now,
he basically, because I didn't know what I was asking for, and he was like, "Look, we'll hand over the curriculum to you. We'll empower you to do what God's calling you to do." And I was like, "Wait, I don't even know what God's calling me to do right now." And so in all of this, we come back home, and we're working through. I don't know. I like to drag my feet on things, right?
Doesn't seem like it.
I'm a procrastinator.
I don't believe that.
Okay. But in that, I had asked Pastor Pruitt, I was like, look, because I love community. I love partnerships. I love collaboration. I don't necessarily like having to stand up something that potentially is already happening. I'd rather enhance what's happening, right?
Right.
So if Bethel's working really well, I was like, hey, are you guys interested in starting a branch up our way? And he was like, no, that's not where God's leading us. He was like, but I will empower you. I will give you everything for you to start what it is that you're feeling prompted to start. So they truly have handed everything over to us.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Yes.
Electronically. So I haven't had to retype it or anything. Now we are massaging it. The foundation is still the same, but it has to be tweaked a little bit because the property is not the same.
Right.
Right. And so we're currently working on that right now. And it, like I said, we have it, but Casey, the girl that actually answered the phone, is still connected with us, and she will be joining us in July.
Overseeing
Wait.
the house.
From North Carolina.
Yes.
North Carolina.
So she's moving up here.
Yes, she is.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
That's what I said. God has had his hands in this
Yeah.
from us being able to get the property. It's just to sum it up, a girl that I went to school with. And I, as Laura says, I host things and we do a class picnic every summer. I put it at the house and we spoke about what we were trying to do. And a friend of mine from school says, Ruby, I got the perfect place. Well, me being in an entertaining mode, I said, did you get some ice cream? The ice cream truck's here. You know?
She didn't hear her.
I didn't hear what she was telling me.
Okay.
And then we have a good friend, Cherie, that's a real estate agent, and she's been looking for us, knowing what we were looking for. And she sent the coming soon to me, and I'm like, that's Debbie's house. So I contacted Debbie, and Debbie is on board with us with this mission, and God has just laid the foundation.
That's awesome.
How much property is it?
9 acres.
Really?
It's amazing.
Right on Deer Creek.
I have seen the picture online. It is very pretty.
Oh, it's right on the creek?
Right on the creek
Oh,
where we
what
do
better place
baptism.
can you, I mean, that's, and we've discussed this before, especially, with recovery and your mental health, just all that being there, that nature around you. Wow.
And it's like it's beautiful too because it's kind of in a holler or a valley of some sort to where it feels very like you're hugged by nature. I don't know. It's beautiful there.
Surreal.
Yeah.
And when we were in North Carolina, I spoke with the girls and talked to them about, in the recovery. And what was amazing, it wasn't just young. I mean, there was women there from 18 to 60.
Yes.
So it wasn't just, it's not a pinpoint saying.
Which I'm going to just interject
That's
for a
right,
second.
yes.
That has really been weighing on my heart lately about the older women that are coming through our houses because they need a different kind of love. I'm going to be honest. We commingle all ages together, but I'm noticing women that are my age or older, and I can't even imagine how terrified they are. When you're younger, you're resilient. You can go out and start over and over and over again. We've all proved that to ourselves. But when you get to a certain age, your possibilities seem to get smaller and smaller and smaller. So,
I think that's your mindset. I think that's...
no,
I think there's some validity to that.
There
I
is
agree.
because
But
your
everybody's
earning
different, too.
potential.
True.
Your don't mean to interrupt you, but your earning potential, your confidence, the people that you are no longer in your life because of the devastation that addiction has taken on you, and that we have women whose children don't want anything to do with them, and they literally have nothing. And so that has been weighing on my heart. And honestly, there's been several women in that scenario that we've had to find alternate places because our environment isn't the right one for them. So now I love this because, if that's a referral for Rage, that's a win for both of us.
I can understand that now because especially if their kids don't want anything to do with them now, they're with other people that are the same age as their kids. That I can understand. Yeah.
Well, even if they have kids and their kids have kids and they keep the grandkids from them, they feel like their world has crumbled. They have it's like, okay, why am I here? Because I have nothing to go for. And because most women, it's about their kids and
Their family,
grandkids and
the
everything.
caregivers.
Yes. So I understand completely what she's saying.
Yeah, and I think it's not getting better. So we need to have these types of resources that have options for them, which I don't think necessarily has been out there.
Well, and I think a big piece of this program is like they stay on the property. So I know at Rage they get jobs, they're out in the world and stuff like that. That's not what this program looks like, at least not at this point, right?
Tell me about what it looks like.
So it is truly them staying on the property. It's a 65-day program. They're there 65 days. They can choose to sign on in extensions for 30-day increments. It is truly, so Bethel is called Bethel Colony of Mercy. It is like a colony. That's the best that I can describe it. It is about figuring out, like, what are your strengths, what are your talents, what are your gifts, and it's about you pouring back in to the property, the program as well. So I appreciate, like, the older ladies and stuff that you're talking about, and I've seen them in my span of treatment world, right? And in that, it's also important to the physicality component of it. So, like, they'll have to be able to do stairs, they'll have to be able to do yard work, because the maintenance of the property is going to be, like, pretty intense, right? Yeah. And it's a nonprofit and it's a ministry, and so therefore I can't pay somebody to mow the yard, right?
No, I get it. Yeah, that's take it from me. It's very expensive.
That's right.
So, and I mean, and where I was going with too, down there, I was speaking with the ladies in reference to, what kind of recovery do they look for? And they were saying that if you put them in these fancy recoveries, they don't feel comfortable because they're not at home. We're used to being out in the streets. So you put us in someplace fancy, it's not comfortable, and it's a trigger. So they want something that's comfortable. And this house was built in 1853.
Wow.
It's an old house, very old house.
Oh, it's got amazing history to it. I mean, through the years, it was the old mill. So there was a lot of, like, commerce and work happening there. And then, because it is a historic property.
Okay, that's what's going to
It's not registered.
Okay.
It's not registered in the historic. No,
Okay.
no,
Not
it's not
yet.
registered. It can be. They've asked.
There
but
are
she
some
never registered
stipulations
it.
that you can't
Right.
do certain things if
Right.
it is
Yeah.
becomes a
So
historic
the previous
property.
owner, it was approached, but she never registered it because they do set guidelines.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't expand or change
Right.
certain
Right.
things.
Right.
Right.
So in that, through the years too, it was also, I think, like a nursing home and things along that nature. So, I mean, it's a huge house. It's huge.
How many bedrooms?
It has six,
That's big.
seven.
I thought 7.
Oh, 7 with the one in the back.
Yes.
Wow.
It's like a maze.
Wow.
There's, back
awesome.
steps.
I love
you
it.
get lost.
I
yes.
love that.
But it's also classy. So, like, when you walk in, the chandeliers and stuff like that. But it's the original hardwood floors. So, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just this. It's amazing.
inviting.
Comfortable.
Yeah.
Very comfortable.
It is. It's humble. It's, even though it's grand, it's weird. It's hard to describe.
You'll have to come see.
For sure.
I know
Yeah.
you had an open house and I was not available when you did, but I would love to come see it.
For sure. We'd love to have you
Yeah,
up.
sure.
I mean,
You had an open house already?
We did.
as soon as we bought it, this woman was like, Laura,
She
we
was
need
the
to open
hostess with the
doors."
mostest.
We had to
let's
open the
bring
doors,
everybody
and
in.
Do you know how quick we got furniture?
It's fully furnished.
It's fully furnished.
We have not
Wow.
bought a thing.
That's awesome.
not bought a
So
thing.
what is your target opening?
Go, Ruby.
Yeah, right.
Well, the goal was February, but here we are. And so, I mean, at the very latest, it's going to be July.
Okay.
But
What are some of the hang-ups that are preventing now to July?
so we knew it didn't have air conditioning when we bought the house.
Yeah, but it's probably.
It needs heat too.
Well, 1853 has probably got the front and back door across from each other, or not.
It kind of does.
There's several
Okay.
back doors.
Well, and
Right.
with the creek, I mean, it's probably cool in some
Oh, it's
capacity.
cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Well,
But it's also
cold.
hot.
Pipe busted.
Oh, geez.
So yes, the heating system. The previous owner was doing an amazing. I don't know how she did it, but she lived there, and she said she would do zone heat, and yeah.
Was it oil heat?
It was 2 fireplaces, very small fireplaces, in a 3,500 square foot home.
Wow.
Oh, so when you say like there's no heating and air conditioning, you mean like no ductwork at all?
Well, there was
no
previous.
ductwork.
Yes, there is previous ductwork in the old part because they had a coal burner.
There's registers. There's not duct
Right.
work.
Yeah, just the registers.
It was
That's
like-
the way the old
So it
houses
could, heat
were.
could rise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
So
I would love that though.
So that's been part of what we've been doing for these past 3 months is really pushing. And we started like a GoFundMe. And initially, again, all God's work, right? Initially, when we started looking for, okay, what is it going to look like to install an HVAC system in here? Our original quote was over $100,000.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Today, as I stand right now, with the work that's already like getting scheduled, the HVAC system and the roof replacement that we need is all under $100,000.
yes,
Huh? Because
Yeah.
of donations?
no, because of people wanting to work with us and be partner in this,
okay, yeah.
they are doing it for hardly nothing.
Wow.
Yes.
A fraction of the cost. Yeah.
Well, there's a need, as we were just saying. So I feel like this program is going to be probably like one of a kind in the area as
is.
well. What do you anticipate like a day, for the woman that comes in? What does it look like to her? Because she's not working. She's, tell me.
It is, and Wendy, you're right. It's unlike anything that's around here. There's familiarity to what is happening here in this really strong recovery community that Harford County does have. But that's one of the things I was talking to Rich about earlier is it doesn't fit in any of the boxes when we talk about recovery in like the treatment world or anything like that. It truly is outside of the box. So it's familiar in the ways that like the women have a schedule, right? They get up, when they get up, they have to do like get ready, get their beds made, all the stuff, because this does get kind of like audited, right?
Right.
The staff goes behind and checks in on them. There's a like weekly type keeping the rooms tidy and stuff because we know that that's really important, and that's something that has went out the window when we're in full-blown addiction, right?
Relearning your life skills,
Exactly.
creating
And
routines.
it's going back to the basics. It's going back to the basics in how to show up in the world, how to love myself, who am I, like really getting at these foundational components that, if I'm honest with you, for me, I don't normally talk from that space of like, I'm in recovery, because my recovery has not been what the world says. My recovery is very different. I'm 15 years without a drink or drug.
Wow.
Only by the grace of God. Mine came different. It didn't come in the rooms, which is why I kept quiet, because I never wanted to discount or discredit what others are doing.
Right.
But what this program does is it feels very familiar to what my recovery has been. And so with that, it's truly with the foundation of God, the Bible, who God says I am as a woman. And so when they wake up, they have the structure, they meet for breakfast, they have prayer time, they have worship time, they will have education. So with that, educators will come in. We're going to start off, it's going to be volunteers, all volunteers.
Good.
And it truly is going to be the community.
okay.
That's why I say it's not ours.
Right.
It's everybody's. And I can tell you, even in like these 3 months, like the people that check in on the house, that are watching out for us. I mean, just this morning, somebody drove past and was like, "Hey, Ruby, the gate's open." Like they're not stopping. They're driving past in their other job and watching out for
Right.
us. Like that's what this is. It's truly
and-
community.
Yeah, and one of the things that I've noticed is that is exactly what a nonprofit is. It is all about community. It's not the nonprofit that I run, it's not mine. It doesn't belong to me. It's to be passed on to the next and the next to keep the mission going. So I get that.
What kind of educators are you looking for?
So we actually have a volunteer training coming up March 15th. And in order to volunteer at the house, you do have to complete the training. We do anticipate anybody that's going to step more into that educator counseling perspective. So it's not going to be counseling like I'm an LCPC, licensed professional counselor. It's going to be pastoral counseling, right? So it's going to, again, it's faith-based.
Yeah.
And helping people walk through what their identity is, who they are, who they were created to be, so that they can get back online and get back on the mission that God has created them for. And so for that, we're looking for people who have a strong faith-based component. In addition, I know we have some people that are part of our volunteers that have went through different trainings themselves so that they can practice with a level of certification.
You mean
behind
like
it.
peer training, peer certification, like that type of thing, or more of spiritual?
The spiritual
Spiritual
side.
part,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And what would that look like? A pastor? Just give me some examples.
It could be a pastor. It could be someone who has been like really strong in their church, and therefore I have a lady that I'm connected to. She has her master's as a pastoral counselor, but she's a life coach. She's got certifications behind that. And so she brings this very unique perspective into it. So it's almost like limitless in some ways, but again, the foundation is that faith-based component. So I'm not saying you have to have a master's degree in pastoral counseling, but
Faith is a strong thing. That's the main thing.
exactly. This inner healing and deliverance piece is really important because, I'm gonna talk in a way that I don't know. What we have seen and experienced is very much in the spiritual realm, and so when I worked with my brother and stuff like that, there were moments and times where I had to step away from him because it wasn't him. It was not my brother. It was the demons of addiction, right? Like you hear everybody talk about it in the rooms. Like I fought my demons. Or I continue to fight my demons. But to really put it where it belongs in that spiritual realm and understand that, like, okay, so what do we do with this? How do we fight this?
I did not realize, but when we were at Bethel that week and we were in the classroom with the ladies, there are 7 demons, and anxiety, depression, panic attacks, that's all a demon.
Yeah.
It takes control of your mind, and, and I had never put that piece
Put it
together.
in that perspective.
Yeah.
Right.
And that really opened my eyes to, to understand more of what's really happening.
The other thing is, too, to your point, with the demons are taking over. It's the demons talking. With what you're looking for, the faith-based educators, I believe it's God that is doing the talking through them.
Correct. Yeah, we're just vessels.
Yeah.
And we have to be open and willing for God to use us.
And listen.
For sure.
He's led us down this road. I never dreamed.
Well, knowing Laura, this program is in good hands. I do know that for a lot of different reasons, her faith and her expertise and her personal experience. So I have no doubt that it will be successful. How many women at a time will be there? Max,
8.
8. Okay.
Yeah. That's where we are. That's what code tells us. So.
Yes. Yeah.
So 8.
Yeah,
Now,
I get
will
it.
the women be doing the cooking, or will you have somebody in there cooking for them?
They will be doing the cooking. So we will have volunteers that will help teach them how to cook and share recipes. And this is their recovery. This is their property. This is their program while they are there. So they'll have chores, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, it feels familiar to recovery homes.
Yeah.
Because it's their space.
Yeah.
What is your role? Like, what will you be doing? Like, what's your, what are you going to be doing? I know. Well, no. Yeah, I know. There's
Everything
a lot
except
of
for
hats.
the donations.
Lots
I'm
of
going to let
hats.
Mom handle that.
Yeah, she's the one who's going to be hosting the fundraisers. But I'm asking that because, are you the executive director? Okay, so we have, a lot of roles that we have to play, and not all of them are fun.
Right.
So if you need any wisdom, I don't have any, but I can I can tell you what doesn't work.
I appreciate that. I like that. I like learning from others so I don't have to make those mistakes.
Yeah. No, I mean, honestly, like, it is probably one of the most rewarding things that you can do is to take your pain and flip it and create a purpose that is not only for you, but that you can extend beyond. And that's exactly what's happening.
You're listening to Conversations with Rich Bennett. We'll be right back. Wendy, I understand that Rage Against Addiction is doing something very important, a monthly donor program. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. We are hoping to get our supporters to join us in providing a monthly donation. It can be $5 or it can be more. Whatever you can afford really allows us to help plan and increase our fundraising efforts.
Well, why should people become a monthly donor? What are they doing to help?
Their monthly contributions let us plan for long-term projects and respond quickly when urgent needs arise. And I'll give you an example. Mm-hmm. We had the need for a new mattress.
Right.
And we've also had urgent needs for refrigerators and washing machines and all of that kind of stuff that comes up. So they tend to need to be replaced, and our women deserve to have the things that they need.
So with the monthly donor program, technically anybody can do it for any amount, and because Rage Against Addiction always needs something. And
Yes.
I've known you for years now, and there's times you've told me you guys needed furniture, you need clothes, and also you're not getting the grants that you used to or the contributions that you used to. So this monthly donor program will definitely help a lot.
Yes.
So if somebody becomes a monthly donor, is there anything that they're getting in return? Besides, of course, helping those that need it. I know you guys have an excellent newsletter. Would they automatically be subscribed to
we'll
that?
subscribe you to our newsletter so you'll know what's going on. You can kind of track our progress, hear success stories, know the data and like how many women we serve each year, and just be a part of something bigger.
So with this too, I guess they're also going to be, because of the newsletter, they're going to be one of the first ones to find out about events coming up like the Memory Walk and Run, the Basket Bingo, and any other future events that you're doing, the podcast that you do.
Yes.
So they're going to be tied in right away.
Yes.
All right. So how can they become a monthly donor?
You can go to our website, and that is rageagainstaddiction.org, and go to our donate button. And on there, you will have the option to become a monthly donor, and you can put in any amount that you want. Your commitment, big or small, empowers our mission and changes lives every single day. Visit us at rageagainstaddiction.org to become a reoccurring donor and join us in making a lasting impact. Thank you for your compassion, generosity, and belief in a brighter future. Together, we can make a difference. Join us today.
One of the things through my faith journey that kind of came to the forefront for me was like, what's your life verse? And I was like, what do you mean? And this was like when I was younger in my faith. And so I started praying about that. And
Life verse?
yeah, like a
Okay.
scripture.
Okay. Oh, from the Bible, what your verse would be. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. And God took me to Genesis in chapter 50, verse 20. And it's the story where Joseph is being reunited with his family after they had sold him into slavery and all of that. And Genesis 50:20 says, "You meant evil against me. God meant it for good, so that many people will be saved."
I love it.
And that's truly what, there's been times where I was like, is this, because sometimes your life verse will change. And I was like, well, maybe it's not. But I feel like this has just been almost like a re-solidification. I don't know if I just made up a
Timing,
word.
too. Maybe.
It is now. You said it.
Right timing. Right.
But just that's the thing. Like, what is our purpose while we're here? I can't just live this life and go through it. I was in a job where most people would have said, "Oh, Laura made it," right? I was the most miserable. I was making the most money. I was like, I had everything. I was losing my mind.
Yeah.
Literally. And a lot of people probably thought I was crazy, but I quit that job and just spent 30 days with God and was like, God, what am I doing here? What would you have for me? And then he told me to start moving. And so I've been doing a bunch of things since then, and this is one of them. And I want to leave it better. I want to leave the world better than I found it.
You want to make a mark.
Yeah.
I feel like that too, honestly. And I think that when you go through something that's so unimaginable, of losing a child, a sibling, and, you know, you don't go back from that.
Nope.
And if you can't turn that around and make it into something positive, you're lost, you're broken. And I'm not saying this to be, you know, disrespectful to anyone who is still grieving at a level that I'm always grieving. I was sitting there today. In all honesty, we have a newsletter, and I was writing my note from Wendy, and I was like, oh, this is going to make me cry. Like, and my daughter's like, what? And I'm like, no, I just, don't worry about it. Because, like, you're throwing your heart in it over and over and over again. And you don't do that when you're sitting there doing data entry.
No.
You know, well, we have to do data entry, too.
True.
But you know what I'm saying. So
Yesterday was 5 years ago that we lost Stephen. And with that, my faith has become very strong. I've believed my whole life, but I've gotten stronger over the years. But with dealing with Stephen, I always was looking for any help. You know, what can we do to make a difference? So when we lost Stephen, I always said, I want to help the families. Well, how do you help the families? I don't like calling them addicts because that's a stigma. So we are going to call our students. That's why we're not recovery, we're transformation.
gotcha.
They're going to transform their lives, and they're going to be students, not addicts, because I don't like that. So if the students are good, the family's good. So that's why we are part of this mission. That was my goal. I want to help the families. How do I help the families? Help the students. Because whenever Stephen was in Bethel or anything, I
You could breathe.
worried, but I knew he was okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's where we're at, and God has led us down this road.
When you guys went to Bethel and you met Pastor Pruitt,
Yes.
Pruitt, and you talked to him, and I'm sure he probably sat down with you guys and said a prayer.
Oh,
as
definitely.
well. I bring this up because this happened to me, and it changed my faith completely. I made it stronger. But after he prayed with you guys, did you feel something just overcome you?
I think the whole week down there we felt.
whole week down
oh my goodness! When we were at the women's the first day we got there, we were down by the water because it's like a campground, and Laura stood there and she said, "Mom, this is it." And then look, our place is by the water.
Yeah.
So that's what I said, God. The whole week there, we felt it, you know, and it just, when you go into those campuses, you just feel it.
You feel
It's
the Holy
just-
Spirit.
Yep.
I keep thinking also about all these different educators because of where you're at. all the different things that they can learn there that you would never think of, but like fishing.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I think if I'm not mistaken, over by there, October, you got a lot of monarch butterflies, which to me is the most beautiful butterfly.
Yes.
But just little things like that people don't think of, they take for granted, and it's all God's creation. But to get out there and enjoy it even more and learn about it.
I love birds.
Oh, wow.
I love
yeah,
birds.
yeah.
My daughter laughs
Yeah.
at me. She never thought I'd be a bird
always-
watcher.
Oh,
Well, and
I'm always watching them.
and even like, so Casey's doing some work for us while she's down in North Carolina right now, finishing out a second program that's getting her on her feet even more. So she's going to have 2 years in recovery by the time she comes to us. And so she's doing some work down there, and she has even said, she was like, Laura, I want to have my friend down here come up and create like a bird sanctuary for the property. And I was like, heck yeah, let's
Yeah,
go.
why not? Right.
Yeah.
When you said that, my first thought was, you're going to have Ruby's bird room and all the photos of all the different birds that are around there.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay. Now, you said you're also going to have services there, right?
So
Or just prayer?
prayer and worship. So when you say have services there, I would love that to end up being like a church space. So what's beautiful about the property is we have the house, and then we also have a separate building, which used to be an antique store.
Okay.
I've been calling it the worship center. Some people call it the schoolhouse. Like
It's finding its way.
yes, it is this open space, and I know that there's something there that will be part of the community, whether it be bringing the community in or even like, I don't know, just
Meeting space.
it could be, yeah. And we've been connecting with a lot of churches. We still have a lot we're trying to connect with, especially up in that area. I mean, regionally, this isn't just Hartford County.
Right.
This can be anywhere, right?
Let me ask a question. The one in North Carolina is a standalone. They don't have any other anything. Okay.
And they rely totally on donations. I mean, and then like she said, the students give back. Right now, they are building a shop to work on people's cars.
Okay.
Some people that have graduated from the program that have stayed.
To bring income back into the
Exactly.
mission. Gotcha.
So they are building their own, community there. It's unbelievable. Like I said, when you walk on there, it's amazing. It is amazing. And Stephen was there. Well, his first visit was, oh goodness, I'm terrible with remembering years, but it was probably about 8 years ago for his first visit. And he did go back for a second visit. And
that, so I don't think we've hit on that. The reason why Bethel left such a mark on us and why we're where we are today is because when my brother came back the first time, we truly saw the new creation.
Yeah.
Like, he was different. He walked different. He sounded different. Like, everything was different. I remember saying, I have my brother back. And I remember saying, I will not lose you again. I mean, I did, right? But because I have had some people ask me the question that kind of upsets me, if I'm honest.
Okay.
And it's the question of, well, what's the success rate?
Define success.
Thank you. That's what I said. What's success? And a lot of times I'm met with the answer of, well, they never touch alcohol and drugs again. And I was like, I rebuke that, like, if I'm honest.
Well,
Like,
and I can relate to that in our world as well. And I'm not trying to, say that it's the same, but people want data.
yeah.
Okay, so this data is a big picture. Like, well, how many, people are still in recovery and all of these things. And it's like, you can't really base success on that at all.
And you're always in recovery.
And numbers, you can paint whatever picture you want
Yes.
with numbers.
Yes,
Right?
yes.
So in that, because if that's your measurement of success, you're telling me my brother was a failure. That's what you're saying.
As my daughter would be as well.
Right. But here's the thing. If we're truly living kingdom-minded, the success is whether or not he's in heaven, whether or not he truly had Jesus in his heart, right? So with that, success. Like, I know that because I saw the new creation. And even in Stephen's addiction, he still knew who God was. That night, February 19th, my mom met him to put gas in his truck to go to the doctor the next day because he had a doctor's appointment. Of course, she wouldn't give him money because we all know that story, right? Stephen looked at her and said, Mom, I want to go home. And Mom goes, where's home? You're going to your dad's house and you're not supposed to be there. But
his dad had just passed 15 days before him.
Right.
Oh,
Wow. Yes.
So Stephen said, no, Mom, I want to go home to be with the Lord and Dad. So even in his addiction, he still knew where his home was. He still knew
and
who
the Lord
his father
answered
was.
his prayer that night.
That's
wow.
right. That's right.
See, when you talk about success rate, success rate, I think his recovery was a success because otherwise you wouldn't be doing what you're doing now.
Yep.
You wouldn't be doing what you're doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We've took bad and we're trying to make good out of it.
Yeah. And honestly, that's healing in itself. Mm-hmm. And that's healing your grief and your putting a mission in your heart. And without your son and your brother, you would not have found that in yourself. And I hate to say that because I know that the loss of Kelsey, as devastating as it is to me and to my family, and, she has helped so many people now. Mm-hmm. More than she could probably ever imagine. It's going to make me cry.
And she would be proud of you.
Yeah, don't make me
She would
cry.
be proud of you.
Yeah.
It's okay to cry.
I
Yes.
know. Nah.
I have tissue this time.
I know.
Well, sort of. It's toilet paper, but close enough.
Hey.
We're allowed to cry because you know what? There's a hole in our heart that will never heal.
Yes.
Never.
Yeah.
And so you know what? Now and then we have to cry because that's empty.
Yeah.
And do we want it to heal?
No.
No.
Me
Not
either.
really. No. Absolutely not.
No.
I didn't say anything.
Wendy getting tissues.
He knows me.
Never mind.
No, I think it's beautiful. I think I can't wait to see it. I would love to help in any way that I can.
Likewise.
I think it's going to be amazing.
But doing this is a help. We actually are having our first fundraiser that we put together in 30 days.
Is it bingo?
Yes.
Okay.
Two
Yes. What day
of
is
my
it?
very Sunday.
Oh,
Two of our
this
very
Sunday.
close friends.
Okay, good.
Contacted me and said they wanted to do something, and between them two and Laura and I, we've sold out. We've got beautiful baskets that were donated. We are ecstatic for the first fundraiser to be a success.
Where is it? If you can,
It's at the Darlington Fire Company.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, you have that space where you can probably have events in there as
Yes.
well.
For sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you get 225 people in that?
Well, depends on what it is.
We have property where 225 people can easily be
Oh,
held.
definitely.
Oh, you could do outside events. Mm-hmm. And those of you listening, Ruby is not for hire for your
Amen.
Why
for
not?
you to do fundraisers for. Well, she talked nice to her, Wendy, maybe.
I've got 3 going on right now.
Wow.
I got
You rock.
the basket bingo for the Bethesda. I kind of oversee my high school from North Harvard class of 81. Woo! But anyway, they've been a major asset to all of this also. So we are having a bull and oyster roast
Okay.
March 22nd at Jarrettsville Firehouse. And then I am also doing a bus trip to NOAA, to see Sight and Sound, to see NOAA in April.
Wonderful.
So I've got those 3 things going on right now.
She's a busy woman.
Plus I work.
I can't keep up with her.
Plus, she works.
Yeah, she does.
You're like me. You're never going to retire.
I tried.
Martha.
It didn't work.
She did.
I'll still be doing this at 100. Class of 81?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Well, I thought you were younger than me.
Well, thank you.
I was class of 81 as well.
Oh, nice. nice.
Yeah, not North Hartford. I went to a good one.
I'm sorry.
Man.
Choppertown.
Oh, right.
I'm really sorry.
Wow.
Well, this just went so
Actually, I quit my senior year, so I guess even though I still get invited to the reunions, it's like, why? I didn't graduate.
Yeah, but
Because you're so
that's
proud.
you were part of the class for all them years.
I go to these things. I'm an honorary class member of 1981, okay? I wasn't born, but I still go, and I'm still a classmate.
I took over taking our reunions at the 10-year reunion, and I had assigned 2 of my fellow classmates to take care of the door coming in. They didn't do very good. Men doesn't listen very well. But anyway, one of them's my husband now. But anyway, but so from then on, Laura got to be the one that handled the door. So she has been to every one of my reunions. And like I said, we do a yearly picnic at the house, and we have a wonderful class, and I'm proud of them.
Well, I think it has to do with you guys being so, special and inviting. And I think that this is going to be an awesome, awesome mission.
What's the website?
www.bethesdatransformation.org.
Center, just BethesdaTransformation.org.
Yeah, center that was more
Long.
words, sir.
Yeah.
Oh, call me sir again. We're going to have a problem here.
That is respect. That's what my
Can
husband
she
tells me.
give the definition of why it's Bethesda? Because everybody always wants to know.
Well, I mean, it's the scripture, because when I intense praying went into this. We didn't just pull this name out of a hat. All of this has been highly intentional with seeking what God wants for this, right? So Bethesda is the part of Scripture where Jesus did one of his miracles, where he went to the pool of Bethesda, and there was a lame man that had been laying there waiting because it was the angel would come down and stir the water, and the first one in would be healed. And Jesus approached him and was like, "Do you want to be healed?" And he's like, "Yeah, but I have nobody to help me get in the pool when it's stirred." And he was like, "Pick up your mat and go. Like, you are healed." And that's what we're going to be doing at Bethesda. It's not about we need to do X, Y, Z. And it's like, no, you are healed because you believe God has healed you. So walk in that. Pick up your mat and go and share your testimony, because this is where the healing is.
I love that.
I'm so grateful today.
And we have a moment of silence after that, too. Wow.
Well, you're the lead here.
Oh, sorry.
She was soaking it in.
I was just like, I was feeling it.
Because everybody keeps saying, "Where's Bethesda come from?" Is it Bethesda, Maryland? No.
Yeah.
I actually even went to get a donation at Tractor Supply, and he looked at it, he said, "Bethesda." He says, "We only do local." And I said, "No, we are local." So,
Well, and I wonder if that's the place that I had told you that I had encountered up in Pennsylvania, if that has something to do with the name, because there's, they have their own mission as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to get back to services for a minute.
Oh.
Because if you get what?
Hold on, I forgot to add. So I'm really big on meaning of names too. So
Okay.
Bethesda actually means house of grace
Ooh.
and house of mercy. And that's exactly, like, think about that. This is a house of grace being poured out to each and every one of us. That's another thing we've talked about is like, okay, yes, we are ministering to these women that are going to come to us, right? But the ministry is also for the volunteers,
Yeah.
for us.
You're all going to be
Yes.
in it. Yep.
It's powerful. It's so much bigger than us.
You scared me there for a minute. 'Cause
Sorry.
you're like, the name, I'm like, wait, what's my name mean? What did I do now? Man. No, but because I could see you holding services there. But I see you doing them.
Oh, well then.
Seriously, I don't know why, but for some reason, I see you doing the services there. Are you
talking right
ordained
up-
or anything?
No, I'm not.
You're not.
No.
but you're talking right up her alley.
But I think I think you're
I think
going.
she's headed that way.
I think so too.
Thank you. I receive it.
I see you doing it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Wendy. Go ahead.
No, I mean, do you have any other questions for them?
No, I can't wait to see it, and however I can help, let me know. It's weird since the one person that I told you about who grabbed my hands and said a prayer, and my faith has grown that much more, and I'm even doing episodes where we're talking about faith more. And
I'd love to do that.
Oh, one of the things I want to do 2 roundtable ones.
Yeah.
How to talk to God and how to listen to God. And I'm going to make that happen because I do believe a lot of people still don't know how.
Mm-hmm. And so that is part of the curriculum, is teaching them how to pray.
Yeah.
Why we pray. Like really getting into this thing that we just kind of like breeze over. Prayer is my most powerful weapon. Like I do my fighting on my knees.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm laid out crying, but our worship is a weapon, right? Like praising through the storm. I mean, I can tell you yesterday, it was a storm. It was a storm. And so I put on my praise music and it shifted the atmosphere. Just changing my posture, changing where I'm looking. Am I looking at the problem or am I looking at the creator that has the answer to every problem we have, right? Sorry, I could rage.
It's coming.
That's okay.
My muzzle's off.
Well, and you're in an environment where you can do that.
Exactly.
You can do that. You can speak your truth. And you couldn't before, like you said, and you were miserable. So, you're doing what you're supposed to do.
That's why, we're limited on where we can go to for funds because with guidelines, if you're doing it faith-based, you can't, you have to.
Are you registered as a church or just a 501c3?
No, we're registered as religion organization.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
but it is a 501c3.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Is there another number in there somewhere? Letter?
501.
No. Okay.
There can
501.
be, I think, a 501c9, if I'm not mistaken.
We are
3.
registered a 3.
No, I thought you meant, is there another way you can register as faith-based?
Well, no, that's what I was asking because I know that that's an option for nonprofits, church or
Yeah,
I don't want to say general nonprofit because I don't really
I know what
have
you're
all the
talking about.
verbiage.
Yep. But we did register as like a church nonprofit.
Okay. Which is different than what I have for Rage.
Okay.
But so you have different guidelines on how you can.
Well, it's not necessarily, it's more about like grants. Think about like the government realm, right? Like we are going to be limited because we're not going to take medicated assisted treatment. We're not going to have that capacity.
Right.
So there is going to be strict limitations, which is going to narrow down who can come, right? We understand that. But this is this program. We can't be everything to everyone.
No.
Right?
Absolutely. And you don't have to be.
Exactly. None of us should ever try to be everything to everyone, right?
In anything.
Because then you're not good at any of it.
And it discredits. I mean, that's what God talks about. Each member of the body is important and gifted in certain ways. Like my thumb, if you take my thumb off of me, right now I'm going to be like, I won't miss my thumb. No, I'll miss my thumb really a lot. But my thumb, some people might think, is less important than like my ear, right? No, they do different functions. That's exactly what it is in the community as well. We all have our own gifts and talents. And if we allow room for those, just like I said about Mom and I being Mary and Martha, neither one of us is right or wrong. It's just our giftings. And if we can respect each other and travel this road, man, the impact we can all make, right?
So does the house have a name or is it Bethesda Transformation?
Yep, just Bethesda Transformation Center. The rooms will have names, though.
Yeah, you're going to have Ruby's Bird Room.
Stop it.
That's out in the yard.
In a nice screened-in gazebo.
No, I can't afford that. It's going to be open air.
Those of you listening, Ruby needs a screened-in gazebo for there.
There's a
Do
nice,
you want to
there's a
donate
nice
it?
area already
there's
laid
a fire
out.
pit area.
A fire pit area, and it is very comfortable. But yes, I do. I need all the help we can get.
In all honesty, it sounds even though it's a transformation center, it almost sounds like a retreat, an extended retreat.
Yes.
I like that.
Yeah, like an extended women's retreat where
And I would love to have women retreats happen there.
that's really
come on.
would be very amazing, and have the women that are there serve the women at the retreat. Look at this.
I'm telling
We're
you.
working together already.
Yep.
I feel out of place now.
No way.
Oh, men fit in. Don't worry.
Okay.
We'll find something
All
for
right.
you.
Okay.
Oh, trust me, there's a lot of maintenance at the
Yeah.
house, friend.
I'm not good at maintenance. I know how to cook.
Oh, now we're talking.
My man knows how to cook too.
I
Trust
mean, I
me.
don't mind cooking.
All right.
I know you got to ride a lawnmower. I know how to cut the grass. I mean, I know how to use a push one too, but not on 9 acres.
No.
Well, we need a lawnmower.
I think I got one for you.
All right.
My dad's.
Oh, okay.
We've
Big
been
enough?
sitting on it. It's all right. It's a, I don't know, one of those
Yeah,
little things.
zero turn.
Yeah. It's part of my
You'll
inheritance.
have people that'll
Oh yeah, you're gonna have a lot.
that'll take certain roles, and then like I know in the volunteer world they come and they go, but if you have this training, people will show up.
Yep. I think we're already like half full on the training. We were anticipating like 40.
I know we're over 20, definitely.
Yeah.
How often are you going to be doing the training?
To be determined.
Okay.
I guess it's going to be as needed.
And how long is the training?
Training's 4 hours. It's pretty
Just one
intense.
time.
Right now, yes.
Really?
Yeah.
And I know who's helping you with that.
Yeah.
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 And what's involved in the training?
It's a lot of not just education. It's hands-on role playing, like going inside yourself and
Ooh.
really figuring out, okay, why am I showing up? What is this mission? And really getting to the why behind it and understanding ourselves, because it's really important that when we show up, that we are able to show up to help the women and not potentially like bring our stuff in
Gotcha.
as well.
Which is important.
It is.
Really important.
And in this field, we all want to help, but sometimes we don't know how to help necessarily, right? And it could cause harm unknowingly.
It's
Yeah.
creating boundaries, I would imagine. Yeah.
Talking about boundaries, talking about better understanding like trauma and how it presents and why the boundaries are important. Again, it's really getting to the root of a lot of this stuff, and also helping people truly understand the mission, the why behind it, and what it is that we will be teaching there as
And
well.
the role.
Yes.
Yeah. Because you're not there to do, you're there to do what you're there to do, not, does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, will men be allowed to be educators there, or you just?
I'm not against that at all. No. I think it's important, but even with the men, it's even more important for them to understand their role
Yes.
and why boundaries are of the utmost importance. Because, I mean, as a woman myself, when we go through life does certain things to us, and sometimes we will misunderstand different, body language and stuff like that, and we don't want it to get messy at all.
Right.
Yeah.
Triggers and all that
Yeah.
stuff.
Well, yeah, and that's where, especially.
Well, and
if
it's
you're
a safe
guy, you
place
gotta
for them.
know-
So you want
When
to
to
keep it
back
safe.
off.
Yeah.
You want to
When to
keep
walk
it
away.
safe. Yeah.
Right, and it's just in today's world, it's scary, because if you see somebody crying, a lot of times you want to hug them, but as a man, you may not. You got to be careful with that too.
Well, I even, with this day and time now, I'll ask am I okay to hug you?
Yeah.
Because you don't know
I like
anymore.
that. Yeah, I do.
And
like
that's a problem I have.
Yeah.
And
Only
some people
because
might
I
say
grew
no.
up always.
They really might.
Hug
We
it.
were huggers for the Special Olympics. It's like
Yeah.
we were.
Right. That
Yeah.
was your
Yeah,
your
we were
role.
brought up.
Yeah.
You hug everybody.
That's me, and I do. I'll say, "Am I okay to give you a hug?" And because I don't. If they don't want me to, then I don't.
Right.
I won't do it.
Some they're vulnerable sometimes
Yeah.
too, and that feels like an invasion of their space.
Yep.
I don't know what he was.
I thought maybe he was doing something else.
No, not the one cheek sneak. I know where your mind was at.
Well, thank you. I'm
Wendy's like,
excited.
"What?"
I'm excited for this and for you. I mean, I can't wait to continue to hear about it. And when you open, you need to come back.
For
I'm
sure.
inviting them back.
For sure.
Thank you.
Okay.
I love it.
Since I'm the one in charge of this one.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, it was awesome. It was nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I can't even say anything because she's right. It's like,
She's a woman. She's always right.
No, I don't agree with that.
yeah, I found that doesn't work. Thank you for listening to Conversations with Rich Bennett. I hope you enjoyed today's episode and learned something from it as I did. If you'd like to hear more conversations like this, be sure to subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode. And if you have a moment, I'd love it if you could leave a review. It helps us reach more listeners and share more incredible stories. Don't forget to connect with us on social media or visit our website at conversationswithrichbennett.com for updates, giveaways, and more. Until next time, take care, be kind, and keep the conversations going.